Okay.
Yeah,
I'm fine if it
is.
doesn't work.
The whole school project is gonna be huge.
A lot of money here.
If that improves you,
Okay.
They're okay. with
All right, it is 6 o'clock. I'll call the meeting to
it.
order.
Yeah, they're fine with it. Yeah.
Pledge of allegiance.
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can we get roll call, please?
Roll call.
Yes.
Mayor Dayton,
Here.
council members, Norris Johnson,
Here.
Lindsay Larson, absent, Ken Mueller,
Here.
Tim Porker,
Here. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second. Second. Any questions, additions, changes?
no,
Nope. Anybody else have anything? If not, all in favor of the agenda indicate with an aye. Aye. Opposed, agenda passes. On the consent agenda tonight is the approval of the minutes from October 16, 2025, approval of bills, resolution 2538, accepting donations, 2026 DAC contracts for City Hall, Library, Fire Hall, and Grecky Center, and utility billing, animal control contract for 2026-27. I get a motion for the consent agenda.
I make a motion. I'll second.
Any questions, additions, changes? Damien, I'm on the board of the DAC. I should probably abstain from this.
Yep.
Okay, all in favor of the consent agenda indicate with an aye.
Aye.
Consent agenda passes. Open forum. If there's anyone here tonight that would like to address anything that is not on the agenda at this time. Hearing none, I just have one thing. We did get a letter that was submitted for someone that could not be here, so I will read that. And I'll give kind of summation answers. Typically, we don't respond much to public forum at the meeting, but there are some things that are just that we can respond to quickly and take care of. Letters from Pete Pedersen. He states, for 50 years and 22 days, I lived in Malacca and called Malacca my home. For over 40 years, being a part of the Malacca City Council, I consider Malacca my home. My concerns are some of the topics on tonight's agenda and some comments and decisions made at past meetings. Water and sewer fund, information from study 11-2024, 2025 budget and 2026 proposed budget. Study for basic residential, currently at 2024, recommend, this didn't print well, so it's hard to decipher what's going on here, but 2025, 1703, 2026, $22.14, 2027, $22.14, 2214, 2214. So the percent increase, 2025 is 31%, 2026, 30%, 2027, 0, 28, 0, 29, 0. Water basic currently 1703.24, proposed at 2214, the increase of 30. We talked about that at the water rates. Sale of water history, we have that. Just for information purposes, all the responses and all the information, all the numbers and everything, I'm not going to read all of them, have been given to all council members. I'm just doing a little summary here. Talking about the 30% increase, and that's a steep increase. And again, we talked about that at the when the water rates came out. We've discussed it at previous council meetings. It's a difficult situation because we have the tower rehabilitation coming up. We have the water and sewer to Malacca Junction project. Upfront costs for the water and sewer to the Rum River Co-op Special Ed. We'll talk about that later, but that will be assessed, but we have to come up with that up front. A lot of water and sewer coming up, and we do not want to, we want to bond as little as we can for that. So we're trying to build up some cash so we can use cash as opposed to bonding and saving money for residents that way. Another question was, that was the sewer-based rate change. The rate study was 323, the recommended rate is 348 from staff. Because of some of the additions, the Rum River Special Ed project is going to cost us some upfront money. So again, the rate study was done 2 years ago. So some of the things that have come up were not part of the budget at that time. Another thing on there was at a previous meeting, Mayor Dillon asked about summer sewer rates. City manager responded, this has not been done for years. Checks in the minutes of 23 and 24 and 25 summer rates were passed, therefore refunds must be issued. That is, the comment was just, Tammy corrected it at the next meeting. She just stated that wrong. We've done summer rates since it was passed, I don't know how long ago. So that was just a correction that was made. Let's see, June 18th, Resolution 2518, a total of $464,000 was transferred from water. For the Airport Road project, this has to do with that. The original grant was for $1.5 million. The original contract was for $1.575. The city was to only be involved as a fiscal agent for the grant. The total cost for the project was $1.9. Looking at line item expenses, water and sewer doesn't add up. Water and sewer can only be used for water and sewer expenses, and that's correct, and that's what we did. The city of Malacca was more than the fiscal agent. We were the actual grantee, and it's on all the papers that we are the grantee of this project. The total cost project was $1,962,000. The council approved the plan for adding water and sewer work in the April 18th, 2024 council meeting. Bids were awarded on June 4th, 2024. I don't remember that discussion, but we talked about as long as that road's being tore up and water and sewer is there, let's prep it for possible expansion should that happen down the road, so we're not tearing up a brand new funded road. So we were trying to be proactive and get that water and sewer done at that time. And that was discussed at the April meeting. Other water sewer concern was the Rum River Co-op, will it be assessed? And as I mentioned, it will be assessed. I thought that was me, I usually do that. And the Seamers family, those will be discussed when we get to the public hearing. Discussion at City Council concerning fire department and purchase the truck. Rather to cash or taking out a loan, that part is irrelevant now because we did not end up buying that truck. I got 2 pages of notes going, so I got to stay with the right ones. Yeah, the fire department reserve, we did not buy that fire truck, so that really isn't an issue. Talking about the reserve, Fireman Relief Association, paid over 85% of the new pumper truck. City manager comment was that they would be paying the city back to build back the reserve. It is not city money. At the end of 2024, the fire department reserve was $548,622. The total cost of the truck was $904,880. The fire department reserve after the final payment in January of 2025 resulted in a negative reserve balance, which Fire Relief took care of very quickly. So that was how that worked out. We do not have money going into reserves. That was a 2024 freeze that was put in, not freeze, but we just stopped putting money into the reserves as a way to keep the levy down. That's been since 2024. So that is why they've had to kind of work towards building that fund up. Where are we at now? Comment about having a grant writer. City manager stated it would be nice to have a grant writer. This is the task of the city manager. Over the years I was there, I suggested many grants. The reason I requested in 2020 to see your application was to review grant writing. This year alone, I know Tammy and I have worked on multiple grants. I know she herself has written 3. She also was instrumental in getting us the Beach Stopper grant that we got for Airport Road, multiple other grants. One thing that came out of our East Central Empowering Small Cities grant program is the importance of going after these large grants run by feds and the state. And professionally, you have to do them professionally. We've looked at them, we've attempted some of them, and what we've discovered being in this program from Tom Fisher, who is a professional in this, he said there's just ways to do it right, and these people are trained to do it right, and you're going to miss out on grants if you don't have those people That's why we went to the League of Minnesota City. That's why the League of Minnesota City has $5,000 set aside for cities to do grant writing, because it's an expertise. You need, some of them like to our foundation and whatever. I can write those, you can write those, you can write those. But some of them are pretty complex and require a lot, and that's why we looked at that grant writing for those kind of grants. So it's a mix of both.
They know what the people are looking for, too.
Yes, exactly. Yep. I don't really know what the page 75 agenda survey was for what position, and comment by city manager, she changed some employee step rate. I'm not sure what that, page 75 was the police, wasn't it?
Would have been in the prelim.
Yeah, it would have been at
Yeah.
looking at police contract.
It would have been
Okay.
looking at all of the wages.
Okay.
And then, yeah, because I do the salary surveys.
Oh, yeah, from League of Minnesota Cities.
Yep, and check
Yeah.
if we're behind or ahead, or if we're competitive.
Yep, so it's that yearly check on that. Yep. Then there was a comment about the budget wanting to meet. We can take care of that. Then a question about Tammy and her plans, and those really are confidential. And employees' decisions on their employment is their decision. We are fortunate in that Tammy did give us a heads up that she is looking at retiring, to allow us to plan, and we can work towards a thing, but she certainly did not have to do that. And plan date is what it is. I think that was it, so I tried to address everything on there. So I just want to make sure that was read, and then I think that's it on public forum. Unless there's anything else. If not, we'll move on to the public hearing. Public hearing, we have 2 tonight. So I will open the public hearing at, well, can I get a motion to open the public hearing? Sorry.
I'll make a motion.
Second? Any discussion on that? All in favor indicate with an aye.
Aye.
So we open the public hearing for the improvement of the Rum River, improvement hearing for Rum River Special Ed Cooperative, opened at 6:12.
All right, that'll be Phil.
Phil will take care of it.
Good evening, Mayor, members of the council. As you stated, this is the public improvement hearing for the sewer and water improvements for the Rum River School. For the record, that property is PID 210003020. It's a portion of that property. It's the property, I think you all know, is east of County Road 2 on the east edge of town. And the proposed improvements are simply to extend sewer and water to the site, the school site. And the city's portion would be to connect onto existing sewer and water at the far east end of Fifth Street, run it eastward across County Road 2, and then across the farm field to the school site. And the total cost of those proposed, or estimated cost of those proposed improvements is $230,000. And there's a letter report in the packet that talks about ways that the city could assess this. There's 3 different options. I think there's one option, the entire assessment will go to the school site is the option you would choose. You don't have to choose that tonight. And if after this hearing, the council chooses to continue with the project, the next step would be to order plans and specifications. The project would be publicly bid. Bids would be received sometime this winter, and construction would occur next summer, which fits in fine with their building schedule. Next spring, the construction would occur. So with that, we can open up the hearing to any questions from the audience or the council.
Is there anyone here to speak on behalf of Rum River Special Ed Cooperative?
I don't see anyone here.
Nope. Is that all you have, Phil?
That's it.
Okay. Hearing none, we'll close the public hearing on that one at 6:14. Do I need a motion to do that, Damien? Can I get a motion for that?
Make a motion. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So that public hearing is closed at 6:14. Now we have a public hearing for the 10th Avenue Southeast and Highway 23 East project. Can I get a motion to open that?
So move. Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
So that opens at 6:14. And that project, you can probably explain it better than me, Tammy, they're not moving forward, correct?
Yeah, well, During the Highway 23 project, Phil and I thought it would be good to approach them to see if they wanted to extend water and sewer to their site that is north of Highway 23. So we sent them a letter, and then they came in and they met with us. And then they kind of talked amongst themselves, their partnership that they have, and they determined that the owners of those properties, which is all of them, I talked to Mary, and then I talked to Wes Seamers today, and they both stated they do not want to proceed with the water and sewer extension.
And then for the record, that's parcel 21-000-3010. And the estimated costs of those improvements are $175,000. If the council wanted to proceed, their next step would be to order plans and specs. If the property owners don't want it, the simple action would be just to close this hearing and not take any action.
One question that I have, is there, now the Boulder Ridge has water, is it possible to bring it south from there?
Water, certainly. Sewer would be tougher from
Sewer,
that
okay,
side.
yeah.
So, yeah,
Yeah, you have that ditch.
there's
The
nothing to
county ditch,
preclude
yeah.
this from happening in the future. It'd be more expensive. Timing this work with the state's project would have meant not having, the pipes could have been put in open cut and not have to bore the pipes. But if someone buys that property 5 years from now and wants to connect, it can be done.
Okay. Any other questions or anybody else to speak on that? Hearing none, can I get a motion to close the public hearing?
I'll make a motion to close it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So close the public hearing at 6:16, although it just clicked over. Okay, moving on to request communications. We don't have any tonight. We took care of that at public hearing, open forum, sorry. Ordinance and resolutions. Ordinance number 549, fee increases, first reading. Need a motion for that.
I make a motion.
Second. Questions on that? I had a bunch, and I sent them to Dolores, and she did a great job answering them for me. A lot of them, when I first looked, I didn't realize it, to go to the far right column, and realize some of them haven't been touched since 2005 or before that. So there obviously was time to update, because things just kept getting more and more expensive, upkeep of the parks and all those things. 09. So they've been sitting there for quite a while. We do need to catch up a little bit. Anybody have any questions on them?
One that stood out to me was the garbage hauler fee increase from $100 to $500. That's a pretty big jump.
Yeah, we kind of looked at other cities and what they were doing with garbage haulers, and we see that we were extremely low. So that was one of the reasons why we decided we would need to increase it to try to be equal with other cities as well.
When would they go into effect?
January,
Well, that wouldn't until they's up again, right?
until they're up again.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
One thought on that one, just looking at the whole picture, their collection rates haven't changed in over 20 years. And I have a little bit of a problem with if we quadruple our rate and he holds his the same. I mean, what else in this world is the same price that it was 20-some years ago?
Yep.
And the service is excellent, and I don't know, maybe we,
That's your call.
Yeah, it's a first reading, so we can work on this. I think it's a really good point. Anybody else have thoughts on that, or we can discuss it between now and the next meeting?
sure.
But I agree.
I think Norris has a point, yeah. So 20 years ago. So,
And I do appreciate the fact my garbage bill doesn't go up, but,
Oh, I know.
so it'd be nice if this didn't go up on them.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how they managed to do that.
Yeah.
But,
Anyway, something to consider.
Anything else? There's a lot there to look at, but I think
Mhm.
those are the ones I noticed. So we have to change anything with our cannabis licensing or once it hits this next phase?
Yeah, OCM takes care of all of that.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, if no other questions, can I get oh, we already have a motion and a second. All in favor of ordinance 549, the fee increase first reading, indicate with an aye.
Aye.
Opposed? First reading of 549 passes. I have to use this. Ordinance 550, amending Title 5, Chapter 51.24, Subdivision C, water pipes installation, first reading. Need a motion.
I'll make a motion, please.
Second?
Any questions on that? Anything we need to know, Gary?
No.
Different? It's pretty much right there? Okay. If no other questions, all in favor indicate with an aye. Aye. Opposed? Ordinance 550 passes. Ordinance 551, amending Title 9, Chapter 95, Section 95.11, dangerous dogs, first reading. I need a motion for that.
Make a motion.
I'll second it.
Okay? Any questions on those changes, or? Quinn, anything we need to know on that different?
No, all it is state statute, numbers have moved around, so what we referenced for that section about proper enclosures, the number wasn't accurate anymore, so we're just changing the state statute reference to
Okay.
what's currently in the reviser's website.
Yeah, didn't look like much. Great, thank you. If no other questions, all in favor indicate with an aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ordinance 551 passes. Resolution 2539, recertifying assessment. Can I get a motion for that?
So move. Second?
Did you second, Tim?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Any questions on that one?
Do you recall what this assessment was over on Fifth?
Yeah, this is that house, right?
Yep,
Yep.
the house that had been abandoned, and we
Yep.
had to do asbestos testing.
Yep. So it was not rolled right into their taxes?
Once it went tax forfeited, it comes off, and then we have to reassess it.
Anybody have questions on that? That was nice to get taken care of. If not, all in favor of Resolution 2539, indicate with an aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 2539 passes the recertifying assessment. Reports from departments, boards, and commissions, city manager.
I don't have anything.
Okay, uh-oh. Oh, no, sorry. I saw my closed meeting text, and I thought, I forgot it for that's later. Little panic, Damien. Police.
I'm going to begin with, so I know you guys, each month you get a report from Holly. I actually think even on LATG, when we were on that system, is a little bit more in-depth than the simplified one that I was providing, but I do think it's nice to be able to show the numbers to, in a more digestible format. I haven't found a similar report in our new software that we moved to. We've been on it for about a month now, but I'll make an effort to find a report that was similar to what I was providing for the meetings previously. The other item that I wanted to talk about today is we continue to struggle with hiring and retention of officers. I think a big piece of that is how we compare to other cities of our size in patrol officer pay. But also some insight as to how the struggles that we've had in comparison on a local level. Just to compare to another agency who was hiring recently, Princeton Police Department had 2 positions that were open that they were hiring for. In the first posting in 3 weeks, they received 7 applications. They were able to successfully hire somebody, quality candidate out of those 7 applications. On their second position that was opened, again, in about 3 weeks, they had 11 applications and was able to find an officer, a quality officer to hire out of those. So in a 6-week period, they had 18 applications in total for their positions that they had recently. We have now 4 or 5 times had postings on the post board website, which each time we repost because of shifts in what we're hiring, that pushes it back towards the top. We're also utilizing the League of Minnesota Cities. And since November of 2024, we've only received a total of 16 applications for our police officer positions. Of those, I would say about 5 or 6 were of a quality that we made conditional offers to. 1 made it to the road, ultimately didn't clear our FTO process, and a couple of the others unfortunately failed out of their background process. The comparisons that I provided for you guys for consideration, and a lot of this, where this comes from is trying to fix this issue of our retention and our hiring efforts. And the union talked to their rep, and their rep said this, because they're in contract, any changes would have to be made through the city approaching the union. But of these cities that I provided, I was very intentional of sticking with cities that don't lie close to other major cities. If you look at most of these cities on the map, they're gonna be very similar to Malacca in where they're placed in comparison to major cities of the metro. And of the 16 cities that I have there, about half of are smaller or at the same population level as the city of Malacca. And the highest population being about 4,200, but population's down to 800. And of all those cities, there are a couple that their starting pay is close or in line with ours, but even those cities surpass our officers in a shorter period of time for top pay. In a city like this, we understand that we may, for some, be a stepping stone, a small department, and they may want to move on to bigger things in the future. But if you look at these comparisons, we're not even a stepping stone at this point, because cities of our size, where somebody might be able to get 3, 5 years of experience and move on, are paying more than we are. I also averaged out all of the starting and top pays, and on average of all those other cities, the officers are 10% behind in their starting pay, and again, about 10% behind in their top pay. We're kind of in the middle for top out, though you can see there's some cities who their officers top out far sooner, Bram being one of them. So, obviously I want to talk to council, get your guys' thoughts on this. The fear is, I know their contract expires at the end of next year. We're unfortunately losing Officer Barros. He's in background for 2 other departments right now. There's been indication to me that one of those departments has reached out to more of our officers because they're looking for qualified officers, which all of ours are. We've got a good group here. And that at least one other has also applied or is considering applying for this department. We can't be the metro. I understand that. Our officers understand that. I would, not to speak for them, but through conversations that we've had, they enjoy working for the city. They like working here. They like the group that they work with. And being more in line with their comparables for retention purposes would make it easier for them to decide to stay. So my recommendation, being that we're 10% behind the average, my recommendation would be a 15% increase, which, mind you, I only have access, this is just base wage. I understand that there's expense and benefits and things like that. But at base wage, if all 6 officers were at the top step, that's about a $70,000 difference compared to what our top step is now. Obviously, if we have new officers, they're not gonna be at that top step. 15% puts us in line with most of those departments. Even at that 10%, we're still below 8 of those departments that are on that list for top pay. Another consideration, in addition to that, for retention is reducing the time it takes for an officer to reach top pay. In most agencies, for considerations for things like sergeant and positions like that, 5 years is kind of a go-to for an officer being experienced to the level where they might be able to take on more tasks. They've figured out their patrol position. If we were to decide to get within that 5-year range, I know it's only a year difference, but changing the step 2 to a 6-month rather than a year would provide for that. And then just some of the other numbers, again, these are just based off of wage. If all 6 officers, patrol officers, were at top pay, if there was a 10% increase, that'd be at just base wage would be about a $46,000 difference. And at 20%, it'd be about a $92,000 difference.
How do we sit with Mora and Foley? I don't see them on there.
I worked off of a list that Tammy provided me, ones that I could confirm through contracts, because even the list that I know that it's self-reporting from the cities that the league has, some of their numbers were off compared to what was actually in their contracts. I do believe that Foley, Jake would know because he works part-time for them. Are they a contracted city? Or are they a union department?
I honestly don't know that, because we have some part-timers there. The city operates is a little different.
Okay.
Mora, you mentioned Mora.
Yeah, I was just thinking, some
Mora is
local.
contracted with Kennebec County.
Oh, that's right, I knew that, yeah.
But Bram is on there.
Yep, I see that.
I left Princeton out because they're about 1,500, a little bit more higher in population, although some of these other comparables are equal to that and how much smaller they are than our city. So, yeah, the Kennebec deputy is ahead of our officers as well, and more, according to Chris. Thank you.
Any questions?
No.
Norris, any deep thoughts?
Well, yeah, we're in a tough spot, you've got a very good point.
My fear is, again, I know that their contract expires at the end of next year, but with the way that things have been moving, my fear is that we continue to lose officers before then. And I do my best to help out. The last time we were down to 3 patrol officers, I moved into an officer schedule, worked weekends as well. And I'm willing to continue to do that to make it through, but I also don't know that I can do that forever for my entire career here.
Yeah, I think it's a real tough spot, because I think, I saw you all summer driving by my house on the weekends, and you were out a lot, and I really like the officers we have, so I don't like to lose what we have.
And the applications we're getting are people who have failed FTOs at other departments.
Yeah.
They're not, I'm not gonna lower our standards and create liability for the city just to put people on the road.
Yeah. Our struggle is we're close enough to the metro that, because with my background in teaching, it's the same thing. You can make $25,000 more teaching in Princeton, or we just lost a secretary making $6 an hour 10 miles down the road.
Mhm.
So it's tough to compete when they're that close. But, you got plenty of other examples on here too, so.
Yeah, most of these cities are in geographically in very similar positions
Yep.
as ours.
Yep.
I mean, I even stayed away from some cities of similar size that were by Stillwater.
Okay, well, lots to consider. Anything else? Thanks, Quinn.
Thank you for your data.
Yeah, that really helps. Is that it on the police, or did you have anything else?
That's it.
Okay. Moving on to parks. Anything, Gary? Nope. Public Works, though. Anything there? Oh, the engineers report. And we don't need any action. Did anybody have questions on that?
Did you find the typo?
I'm gonna try and get to it. No.
A lot of stuff going on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is a lot. That's a lot there. Anything coming up that's gonna be a problem or anything, or it's all, looks okay? Good. Anybody have, oh, yeah, what's the Circle K, that's the one I had the question on.
Hmm.
It said, Circle K would like to begin operating the facility before January 1st?
That's what they told us when we met on site at the pre-construction conference, but they're not doing a heck of a lot of work, so I don't know what they're
Yeah.
gonna do.
Okay.
Moving dirt, but that's about it right now.
Slowly.
Okay,
I think they got all the asphalt off the road, but there was
Yeah.
just like one person that can load the truck, drive the truck away, come back, load it again.
It's a real
okay.
small
It's not
crew.
heavy equipment.
Yeah.
okay.
Um,
That one just caught my eye, I thought, oh. Okay. No other
Our hope
questions?
is to be able to use some of that dirt, if it tests out okay, that we could put on the Malacca Junction addition,
All good,
so,
Still the plan.
still the plan.
that'd be nice. Been able to steal a fair amount of free dirt out of that so
Mhm.
far for projects. All right, if that's it, then we'll move on to the other Public Works, final contracts, contractor's payment request for Molitor Excavating in the amount of $12,495.89. Can I get a motion for that?
Move for approval? Second.
Any questions on that, or anything else we need to know? Hearing none, all in favor indicate with an eye. Aye. Opposed? Final contractor's payment request passes. Liquor store, I don't see Vicky here. Fire department, resolution 2540, amending fire department organization and policy and procedures manual. Can I get a motion for that?
I'll make a motion for.
Second.
Anything you want to add or do anything with, or it seemed pretty clear to me?
It's just,
Okay.
we've got a few that are coming about half the time.
Okay.
Scheduled events, which, comes down to it, it's a job.
Mhm.
Yeah, it all made sense to me. Any other questions for him? If not, all in favor of resolution 2540 indicate with an eye.
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution 2540 passes. Planning, anything else, you guys?
Yeah, we got, Mike Nelson stepping down as an officer
Oh,
after 15+ years. And then we're gonna move Sean Kettle back up into that position.
okay.
So what we'll do at the beginning of the year is we'll change all that around in the resolution that we do at the
Yep.
beginning of the year.
Okay.
We're down three firefighters,
Yeah, it's on ad, I was going to ask you about that,
Mhm.
okay.
we got 2 apps so far, but
Okay. All right, thank you. Planning and zoning. Let me get back to this on this one. Memo from Stantec regarding Mille Lacs Vet Holdings, minor lot split and variance. This is another information only. Anybody have questions on that? And we'll move to the application for minor lot split from Mille Lacs Veterinary Holdings LLC. Can I get a motion for that?
I'll make a motion for.
Second. Any questions on that? Move forward, okay?
Yeah, Planning Commission made the recommendation. He was available at the meeting, and he talked about, once they re-looked at it, they just wanted to make sure that it was a nice, clean lot, so. So we came back and changed the survey.
Okay. Any other questions? If not, all in favor indicate with an eye.
Aye.
Opposed? Lot split for Mille Lacs Veterinary Clinic passes. Resolution number 2537, approving variance for Mille Lacs Veterinary Holdings LLC. Can I get a motion for that?
So make a motion?
You got them split there?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Any questions on that? So this is just for the lots, for the split, or the variance, I'm sorry. Hearing none, all in favor of 2537 indicate with an eye.
Aye.
Opposed? 2537 passes. Airport Professional Services Agreement for taxi lane
Reconstruction.
reconstruction. So I was going back and forth between the computer and the paper.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. So the airport received a second-round grant offer to reconstruct the taxi lane pavement at the airport. This is the third and final phase of the pavement reconstruction plan that began in 2020. Started with the taxiways leading to the runway. We then reconstructed the apron in 2022. Took a pause to prioritize the entrance road and parking lot in conjunction with paving the airport entrance road, and received the second round grant offer to finalize our reconstruction of our pavements. This is being offered at a 90% state and 10% local split this year. So in front of you is a professional services agreement for design and bid administration, as well as construction observation on the project. The project will be designed over this winter, bids received in the spring, and then submit an amendment to include construction come this spring and construction in summer of '26. The engineering agreement in front of you is in the total amount of $69,700 with a local 10% split for $6,970. The total project estimate is $355,000 with the local share estimated at $35,500, 10% of the total project. That estimate including the engineering amount in front of you this evening.
Can I get a motion on that? Unless anyone has questions. Well, let's get a motion in a second, then you can ask.
I'll make a motion for it.
Second?
Now, anybody have questions for him?
No, I quit flying, I don't have issues.
It'll be nice out there, though.
I know.
In the budget?
We should have done it while this.
But I did put it in the second.
Okay.
Yep.
It'll be in the final. Yeah, we didn't have that information in the prelim, and then we got notification that we did get selected for the second round.
It's a pretty good, well, it's a really good opportunity. so
10% grant, or, 10% that all we have to pay, that's great.
That's a good deal,
Yeah. Okay, nothing else, all in favor indicate with an eye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Following in your packet here, since our last professional services agreement for a 5-year period for airport engineering, that one has since lapsed. And we have a new master agreement for the 5-year period, as we've had historically, I think a couple times now, Tammy, the last 10-year period. So this is just an agreement between Bolton and Mink and the city for a 5-year airport engineering services, outlining all of the agreement between the city and Bolton and Mink.
Like we've done in the past.
Correct.
You want a motion second for that, don't you? Yep, can I get a motion for that?
I'll make a motion to approve it.
Second?
Yeah, I got all kinds of motions and seconds there.
Okay.
Any questions on that? If not, all in favor indicate with an eye.
Aye.
Anything else?
That's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to committees, budget, call for a special meeting in December to discuss the final budget.
Yeah, if you want to look at your calendars and see be within the first 2 weeks of December. The Budget Committee, they'll be meeting on November 25th next week. And then if we can kind of see what everybody's calendars are for the first 2 weeks in December to do the final budget review. And then after that meeting, it would go to City Council for the final.
So for me, not the 2nd, 8th, or 12th. We got games all 3 of those.
2nd, 8th,
Unless we do it, well, no, because we'd be on the bus.
okay.
But like,
What does December 4th look like?
good.
I'll be out of town.
You'll be out of town?
I'll be out of
Okay.
town that whole first week.
Okay, so the second week, you said
9th
the
or 10th?
8th?
9th or 10th?
Let's go to the 10th. December 10th, it's a Wednesday.
What time can we do it?
Yeah,
Do you want to start at 5? Does that work for,
Works for me.
are you done with,
No, we are in the thick of it, but I can make that work.
okay.
That's not a big deal.
So December 10th, 5 PM for the
Sure.
special meeting, review final budget.
Okay, can I get a motion for that?
So move.
Second it?
Second.
All in favor for, let me get it right. What are we on, what did we decide, the 10th?
Yep.
December 10th for the special budget meeting. All in favor indicate with an eye.
Aye.
Opposed? So we should be set.
And just note, 5 PM.
Let's just make sure I got that right. Yeah, I don't know where it went.
Okay.
All right, moving on to EDC, unfinished business, new business. Call for a public hearing in December for Malacca Part 2 of the Wellhead Protection Plan.
I'll make a motion approved.
Do you need to say anything on that? No? Okay.
Second,
Second?
Who was my,
Ken
Ken?
Norris.
okay.
We don't have anything new to go over, Gary, we're good on that?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. Anybody have questions on it? If not, all in favor indicate with an eye. Aye. Opposed? The public hearing for the Wellhead Protection Plan passes. Minnesota paid leave policy. I get a motion for that.
So move.
I'll second.
How much of that do you want to get into?
Well, you gotta review everything that was in the packet.
Yeah.
You do have some decisions to make.
Yep.
Okay, so, let's go back to that page. So typically, city would cover 50% and the employee would cover 50%. Council needs to make that determination of what percentage would you like to place for a deduction of the employee's wages.
That's not mandated by the state?
No.
Is that what other cities our size are doing?
Pretty much, they're doing the 50%. I tried to find other companies. Now, I was hoping for a cheaper rate, but they were 1% and above. So it got to be, it would have been more expensive for us. So are you good with the 50-50 split?
Would that be like a yearly negotiated item like salary?
It could be,
Yeah.
but, I mean, this is a policy,
Right.
so.
I mean, just like insurance, I mean, it's just part of insurance, it's,
Yeah, every year Deed will reassess that .88,
yep.
so it can go up
Mhm.
each year, depending on their demand for claims.
Okay.
They do have to file with Deed, they don't file with the city,
Right.
so they file with Deed instead.
Do we need a separate motion for that, or can it just be part of the,
Make your determination, and then we'll make a motion at the end for all of it.
Okay. Are we good with 50/50?
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Okay.
The next portion is to being allowed the supplement of their paid leave payments using the Malacca sick, vacation, or comp time if they choose to do so. So within determining by their wages when they file with deed how much they get, are we going to give the opportunity for the employee to make sure that they get their full wage and can use vacation, sick, or comp? That is a determination that you do need to make.
So they're giving you they would say that some cities would deny them to use their,
Some could. Yeah,
No.
I don't think that would be fair,
I don't either.
no. So I think you should be able to allow them to use, because some may not have much sick time, and they may have a little bit of comp time, so they use up them, then they should be allowed to use their vacation time to make sure that their wages remain the same.
Mhm.
You really don't
Yeah.
want to short
Yeah, I
them
think
on
that,
that.
When you're talking about a medical leave, we're not talking
Yeah.
about to go on vacation.
No,
So-
this is, you have to have proof of your medical leave.
Right.
You have to have proof of your family leave.
Yep. I would be okay with that. and-
yeah, I would too.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes, on that, okay.
Mhm.
And then the next part would be, what length of time should we be allowed to be taken as intermittent leave? So someone may have a procedure that's an in and out, or they may just have a doctor's appointment that they're gonna be out of the office for 4 hours. Do you want to do 4 hours? Do you wanna do 8 hours that they need to use? Or you could even do it even as little as 2 hours as increment leave.
I guess I would be in favor of leaving as much flexibility as possible for the
Okay?
staff. I mean, if,
It's just that each time they do that, they gotta file with deed. So
Yeah.
if they're gonna go through the hassle of 1 hour, they have to file that with deed,
If they want to use this,
if they wanna use this.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
otherwise,
they
if
can
they're
just use their
gonna-
straight medical,
Yep.
or, yeah.
Yep, then they would
Yep.
just use their regular sick time for just a doctor's appointment
Yep.
and not go this route.
If they're going to use this, it would make sense to stack. You're going to go to the dentist and you're going to have a doctor's appointment, then you're going to go to the, in one day.